Hey everyone, welcome back to Spartan V for all your hair system needs. Today I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, what I feel like most people should go for based on their scenario. So I'm going to be looking at different factors of lifestyle, age and situation basically, and what I believe would work for you wearing a hair system, whether you're a beginner or someone who's been using one for a while. Hopefully you'll find some of these tips helpful and help you on your journey with your own hair system. So just before I crack on, video today is sponsored by Lavivid. Use code SAM15 for all purchases that you use from Lavivid store. Right, let's get cracking. So I'm going to go through the first scenario. This is based on people who have a very inactive lifestyle. So it might be, office space, they might not do any exercise outside of work or anything like that. It's just very calm lifestyle. So I've got a few hair systems to run through quick, which I would recommend works well on these situations. And I'll explain a few details of why I think it would work best for yourselves for these ones. So first one, you've got the Levivid Eros men's hair system. So I'm basing these first ones on having an exposed hairline as well. So if you want to have it fully exposed where it's brushed back, then this is going to be one of your top ones to look at. The Eros is 0.2 to 0.3 mil. So that is like ultra thin skin on the poly base. So it's going to be practically undetectable. The hair density itself is 90%. So that means, you're not going to have like a massive thick amount of hair. There's a lot of hair still, but it's not going to be, 90% to 100% is quite a big difference. And then it does jump quite quickly after that as well. So 90% is, a good sort of starting point for a lot of people on a hair system. So this is one I'd recommend you could use at all ages, really. Again, because it is so undetectable in the hairline, it's a very good starting point. The only downside of it is, its replacement period says 1 to 2 months. On some of these, I'm going to explain you can get longer, and then other ones, I can say you're not going to get too much further past that point. So why am I saying this is for an inactive lifestyle? So anything that is ultra thin skin, and if you are really active, then potentially, you're going to sweat a lot, do lots of different things with the hair, with whatever your activity is. So it's going to quickly deteriorate. So being such a thin base, you could easily rip it and it could come apart and cause you a bit of a nightmare. So I would not recommend this one to someone who's quite active unless you're very, very careful. So in this one, I only recommend it for, the inactive lifestyle, because you're going to get quick shedding on this as well if you are very active. So it's one of those ones that is a brilliant hair system, but you want to be careful. Also, if it's something that you can afford to replace quite often, then this is going to be, a very good choice for you. You have got others that can look just as realistic on the hair system, being brushed back or anything like that will last a bit longer. And you've got the, let me confirm it, the Mirage. So the Mirage, again, full poly, but it's 0.4, 0.6. So again, super thin skin base on there. So it's going to be pretty undetectable. You can have the hairline back, and let's have a look at the density. I think, it's a little bit higher, so 95%. So you will find that with the thicker bases, you will get a higher density on the actual hair, because the thicker the density, the more exposure it will show on the base itself. So they need to add the hair to get rid of that exposed base that you can see. So on this one, 95%, so still quite, a good density on there. I'd say anything 100% or below is, going to give you a lot more realistic results. So with this one, it says 2 to 3 months. I know you can get longer out of this one. So again, you have to be careful. You're going to get shedding on this one because it is a thin base. It can deteriorate quicker. Same scenario as the last one, but it has a bit more wear and tear about it. And I think you could get 3 to 4, a bit longer, months out there if you are super careful with it. I do know some people that can actually get about 8 to 9 months, but but that's very little brushing, you know, just showering once a week, or well, sorry, washing the hair once a week, and not having a very active lifestyle, just super careful with it. Yeah, so you could make it last a very, very long time. So yeah, that's my second one for exposed hairline. So my third one is going to be this one, and that's the Lavivid Helios. So this is a full Swiss lace, a super fine Swiss lace. You've got a density of 90% here, so it gives you an option here of 90 or 80. The 80% wouldn't work for me because you can only get it in a 7x9 size. The reason it doesn't work for me is that I bald quite far back, so I need the full sort of 10 inches that goes back on the hair system. Otherwise that will just be, I'll have to stretch it too much. So yeah, I go for the 90% on that one. I've actually got this one and I haven't fitted it yet, so I'll do a video on that in a couple of weeks to show you what it's like. So yeah, this is going to be pretty good for, you know, everything you need for an active lifestyle. You can wear it as an active lifestyle. I think the lace will hold up better over time compared to the poly because the bases are more durable to a degree on how long they last. So if we have a look, you can see, yeah, 4 to 6 months on these ones, because how they're knotted to the base, the hair strand that goes in is a lot stronger with the base that's holding it. So it is going to last a lot longer. So again, if you're super careful, you can make it last longer than that. So that's not going to be a problem at all. With all these hair systems, you could use just Ghost Bond or just like a no shine tape. For the lace one, you can use like a dull lace front tape, and that just stops the shine from showing on the hairline. So again, yeah, you can expose all the hairlines on these ones. They're gonna, you know, fit your lifestyle pretty well if you aren't too active. And yeah, you know, you can make them last a long time if you are careful with them. And being someone who isn't so active, you probably are going to make it last a lot longer. So I'm just going to sort of go on to the next one. This is the Koias. I think you say it like that, I'm not sure. So I've picked this one based on if you're not exposing the hairline or it's only going to be a partial exposure, a bit like how I do. So, but most of the time, anything sort of 0.6 to 0.8 above, you're not going to really want to expose the hairline because you're going to come across a wall of hair. So you want to be careful looking at ones like these, unless, you know, you style it where it comes down slightly and goes up, or you just have it sort of flatter down. So yeah, this one's going to be perfect for you. It's going to last a long old time. So it says 3 to 4 months. Being a base of this thickness, you are, I reckon, definitely going to get longer out of that one. I've had these and they've lasted a long time. I can easily get 6 months if I'm super careful with one of these. I don't get very long out of my hair systems purely for my videos and testing. I completely obliterate them. You know, I put all different stuff in them, I blow dry them, don't do what I do basically. But yeah, like I say, I have experienced it where it lasts a long time. Because of the density, you're looking at 115%, so that is really thick. So again, why you won't push it back, because it will just look too strange and it will look too fake. But you know, if you've got it down or playing around, like going just down to the side or something like that, absolutely fine. So again, Ghost Bond tape will work for this one. Right, so I'm going to go through the ones now that, in my opinion, will work best for if you are someone who is like super sporty. You know, this can be from anything from contact sport, running, or anything like that. These are the ones that I would definitely recommend because they're going to last a lot longer, they're going to take a lot more damage, and I'll just put the recommendations for like the glue and tape to use on there. Okay, so this one is the Keanu lace hair system with the poly surround. So as you can see on here, it just has 4 sections which are lace, and then it has the poly going around. I picked this one based on if you're sporty and want to expose the hairline, because it has only a 0.4mm poly skin going around, which again, it's just super thin skin on there. And then you've got the breathability in the middle. This is something I think is crucial for if you play a lot of sport and you sweat a lot. this type of system is going to be your best friend. And like I say, you know, being so thin, at least with this one, you can sort of expose the hairline quite easily. So 100% density. So again, that's not too bad. You know, I know it's not 90%, but it still means you can expose the hairline. Again, 2 to 3 months on lifestyle. I would say that's about sort of right if you are very active, because being that thin, you're more likely going to catch it or stretch it a bit. It's going to have a little tear. It's going to get worn down from all the sweat and everything. So yeah, I would say this is quite accurate on its replacement period, 2 to 3 months. 3 months, I'd say the maximum on there. So again, this is going to be, you know, your friend if you're playing sports and you want something that is more realistic. All right, next one. So I've had this one myself, and I was able to pull off a partial exposure of the hair system. So yeah, this one is the Koias, so men's half wig. The reason I wanted this one, because at the time I was doing like loads of running, loads of different sports. I was sweating every day. It's hot summer, and I was thinking, you know what, I need something that's breathable, something I can easily maintain and just fits in my lifestyle. And that's what I liked about this one. Yeah, it is really thick around the perimeter. So it is a full poly perimeter. I think it's about a 1 inch perimeter. Let's just confirm. Yep, so 1 inch all the way around. So that's pretty thick. It's 130% density. So really, really dense. And you might be thinking, oh, you didn't do that. It would have looked silly. I'll try and find a video and I'll put it up here so you can see, you know, what it looked like on me. But it was a really, really good hair system. It's 6 to 9 months. Yeah, definitely. Because there's so much hair, it's, you know, ejected into the base. It's solid as anything. And I liked it because I was able to vent all my sweat out the top of my head. So it vented through that lace, which was ideal. But it just meant that I could use an ultra hold tape going all the way round, and I could easily clean it off without having to worry, like with the lace, pulling any hairs through if you do use like a tape or, you know, a really strong glue. So with the sport ones, yeah, I would recommend using ultra hold tape, ultra hold glue, or Ghost Bond Premium. So, you know, you're going to get a lot more stronger bond with all those when you're doing sports, so it's going to last a lot longer. So like I say, I was probably getting about 2 to 3 weeks, and that was for me like sweating a lot over those periods of time. It can depend on, you know, your skin. If you do have really oily skin, then it might not last as long, but, you know, it could be the opposite. It might, you know, bond really well to your head and last you 3 to 4 weeks even if you're sweating loads. But yeah, this system, I've still got it somewhere as well, and it is brilliant. So yeah, that is those sort of parts of it. In regards of what I'd recommend for beginner advanced, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Anything that is full poly or has a full poly perimeter, beginner. Anything that is lace is going to be advanced. It's just purely because of the effort you're going to have to go to with a lace until you get used to it, you know, having a hair system properly. That's the way I would recommend it. So anyway, yeah, that is just my recommendations on what I feel like if you have an inactive lifestyle compared to an active lifestyle. There's going to be other areas, grey areas in between those that you might be wondering about. Feel free to put down in the comments your opinion, just so we can start a conversation on, you know, what you think is best for your situation, or if you're from a country that's really, really hot and you wear this type of hair system with this type of glue and you do this with it and it makes it last really long, please put it all down in the comments, and also I'll respond as much as I can. But anyway, thank you for watching. Much love as always. Spartan V out.